Okay, it's getting serious now. Ever since we started doing 0 to 60 tests in our reviews, something about Thomas is getting very competitive. And he's in the Alpina today, and I'm in the GLS AMG. And the GLS is heavier. Even though Thomas is heavier than me, I gotta do what I can to bridge that gap, to give myself every advantage. Because if I know Thomas, he's doing everything he can too. And he's crafty.
You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this is the Alpina XB7.
And this is the GLS 63 AMG. If the idea of an S-Class SUV in full AMG form sounds expensive, that's because it is. Spec'd today, this wonderful example, graciously loaned to us by Performance Mercedes-Benz in St. Catharines, costs a whopping $175,000 Canadian, or about 150 grand US. But if you're entering a side-by-side with an Alpina, you have got to have your best foot forward.
That's right, because for $5 grand more, you can own something truly special. Alpina isn't just a trim level or an aesthetic package. It's a fully retuned BMW by the wizards at Alpena, which is technically its own brand. Except now, you can build one right on the BMW website. If you're new to Throttle House, we do car reviews, track tests, and quite a lot of messing around. So subscribe and hit the bell.
In the GLS, with great V8 comes great power. And we're going to try an 0 to 60. Mercedes claim 4.1. Got the draggy. All right, slightly slow off the line. Well into the power there. And that's the 60. What have we got? 4.7. All right, it's cold. Who cares about off the line speed when you have that sound? And there's a concussive shock under my feet on every shift. It's aggressive. 627 pound-feet of torque. And yeah, it's got almost 6,000 pounds to move. But this thing is no joke. It has 603 horsepower.
603? That's cute. This has 612, and it is the ultimate form of the X7. And some of you might be wondering, Thomas and James, why didn't you bring the Maybach GLS? Because it's the ultimate form of the GLS, and well, one word, performance. Since there's no X7M, both the AMG and the Alpina are the most performance-focused versions of these vehicles. In fact, Alpina started, back in the day, making tuning parts for BMW race cars. So yes, it is very luxurious, but it is also very, very quick. And I'll indulge James. The claim 0 to 60 time is 4 seconds, so we got traction control off, left foot on the brake, foot down, launch control active, and off we go. Claim time is 4 seconds. Let's see what we've got. And Draggy says 4.23. What's up? Easy peasy, no problem. And I'm on winter tires. So this engine is the familiar 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. The BMW was in a lot of other stuff, but Alpina has taken it and they've added larger twin scroll turbos. They've added Alpina specific intercoolers, different cooling stuff, and a stainless steel exhaust system. So it makes more power, and it makes power smoother and lower than I'm used to. I have to say that this is a pretty fantastic engine. It pulls immediately and powerfully all the way to the red line. I like the sound. Awesome. It's just awesome. I really wasn't a fan of the X5M competition, and honestly, I got in this car prepared to hate it. And I don't. I actually love it. Now, Alpena's philosophy has always been to add power and keep comfort, because it's for touring, it's for long distances. And that's exactly what this is. BMW has a habit of when they put an M badge on a car, especially an M badge with a competition badge on a car, yeah, it's very powerful and it handles very well, but they absolutely ruin every other aspect of the car. This is not the case here. This is comfortable. You can cruise in it all day. And even though the suspension's a little wallowy in comfort mode, in sport, it doesn't crash over the bumps very badly and it controls its mass perfectly. Also, as you go through the modes, when you go to Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, it hunkers down on its Alpena specific air suspension further and further each time. And by the time you're done in Sport Plus, the thing is frickin' slammed and it goes around the corner like a car. I don't understand how they've managed to make this particular vehicle feel like how I thought the M5 competition should feel. Because that's what it is. Steering is sharp, handles its mass perfectly, it has a limited slip differential for God's sake, and the regular X7 doesn't even get that. It's actually fun to drive. This has the ZF 8-speed transmission that has been Alpena tuned, and it has these little buttons on the back of the steering wheel to change the gears as opposed to paddles. The transmission isn't outrageously aggressive, but it is smooth, and it fits the car's personality perfectly.
Yeah, but I've got more gears. This is a 9-speed, and around town in comfort, it's a little bit jerky, but it's far more performance focused than the ZF in Thomas's. But this is as much a GLS as it is a 63 AMG, and this gets adaptive air suspension as standard. So I have it in Sport Plus right now, so it's like 40% stiffer. But you drop it into comfort, and does it become an S-Class? No, not really, actually. It's quite troubling. It's a bit jiggly, you know? You feel like you're in a bowl full of jelly sometimes. But what Thomas doesn't have, and this has, is the 48-volt electric system, the EQ boost. So that actually does a bunch of things. First of all, when it comes to the suspension, that system powers the active anti-roll bars. Again, better in theory than in practice, I think. But what it also does is provide torque and horsepower through the range. And when I put my foot down, it makes power delivery smooth, although I have to say, I'm not really feeling the electric torque that normally covers that gap. When I put my foot down, there is a delay. And sometimes when cars are mild hybrids, the best thing about it is it provides torque in between turbo lag. This, I'm still feeling the lag. But where those anti-roll bars do come in is when you're cornering. And you turn into these corners, the car just does it. And it seems to lean in. The body roll is so minimal. So with the air suspension and the sharp steering, this car gives you way more confidence going into a corner than a 6,000-pound three-row thing should ever do. Is it necessary? No. Is it fun? Yes. Never did I think it would be fun to row through the gears in an SUV. It's cannon fire. It's cannon fire coming out the back.
Oh, man. I'm sure that James is having fun in that GLS 63, but this is just the way it's put together. Somehow, this is peak modern BMW. That requires a bit of an explanation. This is an Alpina, and this is a modern BMW M car. They both start with the same baseline ingredient. That is, luxury and insulation in the form of this ice cream. And then they add build quality. Nothing wrong with that. They go together perfectly. The thing is that the M division lately adds all of their normal M stuff to this. That is, out and out lap times, tire smoking drifts, performance. It's actually really good. Put that in there. And then they blend the whole thing together. This is the X3M competition, or the X5M competition, or the M5 competition. Slightly compromised. The ride's too harsh, or it's too insulated to really enjoy the M aspect of it. Alpena has taken a totally different approach. This is their version of performance. When you mix these together, you end up with a totally different end result that all kind of goes together better. Now that is something that I would be interested in trying. And this, while all the ingredients are good, just doesn't quite work.
Hey, smoothies.
Yeah. No.
Is this banana?
No. Yes.
You
yes,
know me
it's
so
banana.
well.
Yep.
Bathroom's this way?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So that might have all been a ruse to get James to eat a hamburger milkshake, but the point is that Alpena tuned the X7 in such a way that it complements BMW's current set of strong points. While we've noticed that modern M BMWs, with the exception of the M2, are a bit too insulated or numb in car form, or too harsh in SUV form, the Alpena-tuned X7 strikes the correct balance.
So, before we parked up to talk about the styling, I grabbed the Alpena to see what Thomas was on about, and he had a good backroad blast in the GLS 63 AMG.
It's condensation in the headlights again.
Why did you take me to a Christmas tree farm?
Oh, I don't know. I like Alpena, Alpine is trees.
Oh no.
I'm
oh
sorry.
God.
I just wanted
Okay.
it to be appropriate.
Anyway, this was interesting.
Is it because it was better?
I wouldn't, I think the important...
It's better. It drives better.
The
It
important
drives better.
takeaway from today is
Yeah.
that these just have just so much presence, And they look very German. But if you were to infiltrate the dealer, find the supplier, right?
Yeah, okay,
Channel
22
your
times
inner
three.
ice cube,
Yeah.
you'd find out these are both actually assembled in the southern United States.
Yeah, they're American, aren't
Yeah,
they?
this is South Carolina and this is Alabama. So Forrest Gump and a GLS 63 AMG is what Alabama's given us.
To be fair, I mean, like the three-row SUV is a very American thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think, it's weird, we just got out the Palisade, the Hyundai Palisade and the Kia Telluride
Yes.
as the baby three-rowers.
Yep.
And I think that maybe they're better looking than these.
This is a cluster.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm going to bleep that out, right?
That is the first time I've ever heard you swear.
No, it's
not even on Throttle House.
Shut up.
You're just so...
I'm sorry, this is, okay, first of all, the thing that makes me so upset about this grille, we've complained about it before, is that now that this is the small grille now.
It's not the small
It's
grill.
the small, have you seen the iX?
I have seen the iX, yeah.
Oh.
Did an Instagram story.
It's like a punch in the gut.
Yeah.
This is awful. Like this, also the chrome lips do not help this.
No,
They really
I think
don't.
you're onto something with that because the Palisade had the chrome around it, whereas the AMG grille, credit to the designers, it's hard to put design on things this size.
Yes.
And I think AMG do a better job with it, with the chrome on the top and the chrome on the bottom.
This is a bigger grille, but it doesn't
It's
look bigger because it doesn't have the
Yeah.
chrome. This is like a fence.
Well,
Look at it.
you know what? These aren't in their best specs. Like, you can get the Alpena in like a blue,
Yeah.
in a green, and I mean, what are these wheels?
The
These
wheels.
aren't the Alpena wheels.
No, they're not.
The Alpena wheels are signature wheels. They don't even change over time.
Yeah, I know.
And these are just winter.
These might actually be the Alpina winter wheels. I don't actually know that for sure, but this is what BMW gave it to us on. But yeah, no, the Alpina, I was so excited because we're getting an Alpina. It's going to
Yeah.
have like the multi-spoke Alpina wheels. They don't have them.
And
Anyway.
then that can be had in a brilliant blue. I don't know, the whole black and white only Mercedes thing.
Also, it shows swirl marks very badly, right?
Don't start because this paint is not in the best shape either.
No, this one's awful. If you even look at it with a cloth, it gets swirl marks. It's awful.
I know.
Anyway, the side profiles, I do want to say, this one is a little bit more SUV-like. BMW has like, or Alpina, no, not BMW, sloped the back a little
But
bit.
they've
It's sporty.
and Mercedes have embraced it. Like the Escalade, we said, looks like a block of apartments because it just uses every square inch.
is
that
a block of
Its
apartments.
entire footprint is a cube.
Yeah.
All right, I'm really curious about the Alpina interior, but let's just run through the GLS because it is otherwise very similar to the GLE.
Why can't
Stop
Mercedes-
looking at the condensation.
Why can't they make headlights?
No, stop it.
Let's just look at the interior.
Okay,
Oh, is it soft close?
I'm not even going to mention soft close. I didn't do it either.
The first time.
I've joined the dark side.
Okay.
Speaking of dark side, this is quite a dark spec for the interior.
Yeah, this comes in like lighter tones.
It comes in
and
some
woods.
fun stuff. I really like what's going on here. We have said that.
Oh, you mean the GLE interior?
It's not that different to the GLE. In
What
fact, this
is
car
it?
isn't that different.
It's the same interior.
But the GLE is quite a nice interior.
It is very nice, true, yeah.
And
Yeah.
what did you say recently? The open pore wood is the new style.
It's the new wood.
This actually looks nice. Like, it looks modern.
Yeah, in terms of gloss woods, this is better than like the Lexus trend in the 2000s when everything was just bright red.
It was like
cherry.
or orange. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work. This works.
No, this looks good. We got everything's very familiar. This is the AMG steering wheel.
Yep.
Quite busy, but actually wonderful.
Yep.
The 2 screens. We've got a huge sunroof back here.
Alcantara, this is nice.
Yeah, the grab handles.
Yeah.
An easy to use infotainment. This has got Hey Mercedes, but I don't want to
Yeah.
say it because it's going to do stupid stuff. Oh, it didn't do it.
Oh.
It doesn't listen.
Have you sat in the back seats? Back.
No, I haven't. But then I did. And after fiddling with some seat mechanisms and making it look harder than it actually is, I found them to be perfectly adequate for a 5'10¼ sized adult. We don't know yet. That's after.
That's after.
What you just saw, Carbon's art. This is Tenet, the car. Isn't it? But yeah, no, it's very nice in here. It's just this has the Burmester extra surround thing.
Is it good?
It's expensive, but it's very good. No,
Where's my spin out tweeters?
Yeah.
Where are they? Are you sure it's got the full on high end?
It does have. Look up here. It's got these tweeters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's very nice. The
I've
seats
been
are quite
robbed.
firm. The driving position's quite high. I don't know. It feels becoming of a luxury fast SUV.
Yeah, it fits the bill. I just wish, and I said this in the GLS review that we did previously, I wish that this had the S-Class interior. Whether it's the previous Gen S-Class or the new Gen S-Class, I think for it being the S-Class of SUVs, in Mercedes' own words, it should have the S-Class interior. Oh, don't push on the dashboard.
That's not bad for Mercedes. That's not bad.
I mean, the whole dash is physically moving, but yeah.
Yeah, but show me the Alpina.
Okay. Oh, one of us remembered at least.
I did it.
That's good. You did it.
All right, an X7 interior.
Yeah, it
meets
is.
Alpinas.
What? Sorry.
Alpinas. This is Alpina's version.
Alpina's version
Of the X7 interior. Yeah, sorry. It looks very similar. Oh, there's an Alpina badge there.
There's an Alpina badge there. There's an Alpina badge on my crystal Swarovski
nice.
shifter thing.
Well, because otherwise that's blank. So
No, it's cool. It has the Alpina logo, which is also on the steering wheel. This is such a happy badge because when you see that, it's special and it's rare.
What is it? Tell us about the badge, Thomas.
Okay, well the badge, as I mentioned before, is a Weber carburetor and a crankshaft because that's what the guy who started Alpina, he was tuning those things for BMWs in the 60s.
Very masculine. Yes.
Now check out this. Do you notice anything different about the steering wheel, James?
Yeah, it feels different.
It feels different, and this leather here is different. This is called Lavellina leather. Lavellina leather.
Isn't that the scotch that he drinks in Parks and Rec?
It's Lagavulin.
Lagavulin.
Yeah.
I was close.
Yeah, this isn't delicious and smoky, but it is very smooth.
Okay.
This is it's one of the nicest leathers in the world, according to them.
According to them.
Yes, Rolls-Royce has something to say about that. But I will say it's nice, and it's a different, also, Alpena Gage cluster. So this bugs me, and it doesn't bug me
From
all
here,
at the same
that
time.
looks like a normal Gage cluster with the word Alpina in it.
Yeah, no, okay, so they changed the font and the color of the programming. The problem is that back in the day, it was cool because when you got an Alpina, they removed the Gage cluster and they actually changed it to blue dials, like physically, because they were physical.
Right, but like this is the modern version of that. Well,
no, somebody went click, 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 blue.
A software engineer who's gone through years of school and hardship has made that
made it blue and then changed the font. I will say they made BMW's normal Gage cluster is red on red on red. This is
it's easier to read. Yeah.
The rest of this wood is nice.
It's very clean in here. Very nicely done. Very solid.
BMW knows how to build interiors right now.
And they've gone with the open.
Like on here, this is rare nowadays to be able to push on a steering wheel and have there be almost no noise or creaks.
This wood looks like a 3D printed thing. Have you ever seen like a 3D printed model?
Yeah, you're right. It has that kind of like.
Which is not. I don't know if that's a compliment.
Yeah.
It just looks a bit 3D printed.
I'm not going to say much about the infotainment because I've complained at length before about this, but I will say. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to find out how to adjust the EQ on this car. Ready?
Yep.
And go.
Okay. All right. So we've got media, we've got comm, we've got nav. Why don't we go?
Media.
No.
Yep. Yeah,
No.
no.
Okay. What's that? Is that a menu? I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. Get me back. Hang on. Oh, option.
Options. Yeah, that'll get you there.
Configure. No, I don't want that. Home.
Home. Yeah. Oh, you're back where you started.
Okay. Apps. It's going to be an apps. It's going to be an apps.
At what point do I get to say, I rest my case?
Fine.
Oh, you click on the audio. That'll do it. Oh.
I muted it.
Mute. Yeah. You know what?
Where is? Oh, what's that?
There you go. That'll do it. Except it won't.
How often are you adjusting the EQ?
How is this acceptable?
Wait, that has EQ.
How is this
boost.
acceptable? Yeah, great. This has got Bowers and Wilkins, which is a great stereo, but I can't adjust it because I can't find it's in here, and I found it. And you know what? I found it 3 times. If you ask me right now to find it, wouldn't be able to do it.
It's like a labyrinth. You have to have your.
I don't remember where it is.
Hold your right hand to this hedge, and that's how you get to the end.
I rest my case. Okay, it's pointlessly complicated, and I hate it.
Have you sat in the rear seats, the back row?
Yeah.
So then I took a look at the back row, after struggling with powered seat logic that makes the seats in James's car look as simple as operating a light switch. I too deduced that they were quite comfortable for a full-size adult.
Again, the tentative car reviews. That's
Yes, yes.
Okay, so. Oh, by the way, the captain's seats are awesome, and the ambient lighting in here is cool. Mercedes still wins on ambient lighting.
Yeah. Do you prefer this interior?
I
think they're not that far off each other.
They're not that far off each other.
2 screens, nice steering
They're
wheel.
fine. Do you have a
These seats are softer,
French
by the way.
stitch
The
on
seats are softer.
They are softer.
Yeah.
Yes, I do find they're a little bit narrow. Very adjustable though, and they're massaging. Do you have a French stitch on your thing? You do. I checked. You don't. Don't even try.
I probably do.
You probably don't.
Probably do.
French stitching or not, the AMG is more alive, more frantic, more of a brute. Sharp as it is loud, anyone looking for a Mercedes-AMG experience will find themselves right at home with the GLS 63. However, it was the Alpena that won us both over this day.
With its perfectly tuned balance of performance and comfort, it's one of the few super SUVs on sale that seems to sacrifice nothing. As ridiculous as it looks, and even though sadly Alpena didn't rework any of BMW's interior issues, I genuinely loved living with it, and it makes me wish we had access to more of the Alpena products over here in North America, not just the big stuff.
Thomas, did I ever tell you that my dad had an Alpena?
Really?
Yeah, my dad was cool. Look, he had a blue E46 B3 Cabrio. And look, there's my little brother standing next to it.
Wow, that's awesome. Wait, James, don't you only have one brother and he's older than you?
Thomas, you fool. Look at the photo. How can that person possibly be older than me? That is clearly a child.
I hate you.
I know.
Okay, this was your brainy idea.
Yeah.
You have to try.
I'm not. No.
You have to try it.
Seriously?
You get to name it if you try it.
It's an.
You get to name that smoothie.
Okay. X5M competition. It's really thick.
It is thick. Yeah.
Oh my god. How did you do that many takes of that? You lunatic.
Commitment.